Jamal and Kim's Inner Circle Health Tribe, episode 26.
It's time to reverse the imbalances in your life as you take the first step on your own journey towards personal change. Welcome to Jamal and Kim's Inner Circle Health Tribe, educating, empowering, and inspiring individuals to live healthier. Now here are your hosts and your guides to natural living, Jamal and Kim.
Hi, Kim and Jamal here, and welcome to another episode of Jamal and Kim's Inner Circle Health Tribe podcast. This is episode 26, where we're going to be recapping Monday's episode that featured Kendi, and the name of that podcast was Healing with the Breath and Black Love Day. And as I mentioned, my name is Kim, and I'm joined with Jamal.
Greetings, everyone.
And
peace and blessings.
Yes. And that show was amazing, right, Jamal? That recording, that interview, I had so much fun recording it with Io. And we just want to thank Io once again for joining us this week. And, her story, that intro was a very long intro, but it was so well worth it. Just hearing the journey of her life and her evolution to where she has grown and who she is today. And that story was really touching and inspiring. It was just like a roller coaster of emotions, just kind of walking through her life when she was describing everything. So it was very powerful. And, I'm thankful and grateful that Io wanted to share that story on our show. And there were so many takeaways with that episode. We've in the last couple of weeks have dived into, we did a lot in the beginning stages with the diet and eating a plant-based diet. And now we're kind of shifting more and doing a lot more shows on the energy and the breath and emotions and how that is like the seedling for, many imbalances that happen within the body, that the unseen forces that a lot of people are unaware of or do not speak enough of. And the breath, the power of the breath is something that can never be spoken enough about, because it's something that we all do. It's something that when you don't do, you're not living anymore. But we're not harnessing the power of the breath by breathing the correct way, using it as a tool for our health and healing and keeping us centered throughout our lives. And in this episode with Io, we really dive deep down into how the breath can really help anyone in any area of their life to, get grounded, have a strong foundation in how you can respond in life instead of reacting. Because the world, there's a lot of crazy things going on. We have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of stressors in our life. And it's how you handle those stressors, because there's always going to be obstacles and challenges in our life, regardless of what stage. But how you handle those lessons and tests and what you get from them is the true testament of someone living in their highest reality. So with Io in this episode, we dive down deep into breathology and her training and all the things that she has available. And it was very empowering. It was very inspiring. And I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. I definitely enjoyed it. Before I dive into that, I just want to say that can't believe that that was our 25th show.
I know, right?
25 shows in the whole. Like that. That's our first milestone in a sense. 25 stones a quarter. That's a big deal. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, and it's getting better.
Yeah, and this is our 26th show. So starting to stack the shows up, giving people a nice catalog of some powerful, empowering information. And
I think also people were starting to catch on because a lot of people we talk to are not familiar with podcasting and what's such a powerful vehicle it is to get information on a specific topic that's uninterrupted with no commercials and all these other things. And it allows us to connect with people by hearing our voices. We got a lot of compliment on our voices and a lot of compliments, and people are starting to tune into the show and getting the value from it. So, it's really starting to build and grow.
Right. Yeah. So back to the show in detail. I thought it was great because the most powerful things in life are really free. They're free. And sometimes when you have something, it's easy to neglect it and not realize the power of something that you have. And the most powerful thing that you could ever possess is your breath.
Right.
We do it all the time. We breathe all the time, but we don't pay any attention to it. When you look at other cultures and societies, they're talking about the breath and breathing, especially in different Eastern and African societies. They're talking about this power of the breath, but we don't spend any time at all in our society talking about the breath. In school, we learn in science, how we breathe to keep us alive, and the importance of breathing and oxygen. But after that chapter or that section in school, that's it. It's done. No more talk about breath work, but it can be used to really push you through life and to shift how you see the world and how your body interacts and responds with the world. The breath is truly a powerful force. And I'm just happy that we got to do pretty much a whole show on the power of the breath. And Ayo, she went through a lot. Her story was triumphant. And the thing that carried her through and that allowed her to be victorious and allowed her to be in the position that she's in today is because she breathed her way through the situation.
Right. That's all she had.
That's all she had was her breath, and she understood the power of it and she used it. So we all have this power. We all have this divine gift, this vibration of breath that we can use to transform our life. We're doing it right now, right? So if you have to breathe, if you got to breathe anyway, it's no way around it. Like, you can't get around breathing. You got to breathe. Why not make every breath a powerful breath? Why not take every opportunity when you breathe to use it for healing? Because if we're not using it for healing, we're neglecting it, or we're using it possibly for destruction, So I think that everyone needs to take a moment out to dive a little bit deeper into the process of breathing and how they can use their breath to take control of your life.
Yeah, definitely. Just to add on to the breath, it always takes me back to childbirth. For most of you who've been listening to this show, we've shared that Jamal and I, we had a home birth with Saora. And for me, when I think about my labor, that was all I had was my breath, because there's no medication, there's no going anywhere. And each and every contraction was just a slow diaphragmatic breath, and just staying with my breath, one breath at a time. I wasn't thinking in the future. I wasn't thinking in the past. And honestly, for me, my breath is what got me through my labor. Because if you do not breathe properly, you can, make yourself almost have anxiety. People who have anxiety, they tend to have shallow breathing, not deep diaphragmatic breathing. And Aya was so kind to take us through a guided meditation that she would normally give in like her training of what a base, like how to breathe properly and what does that feel like, and to really experience that. And I mean, it was amazing, that exercise. And when you feel yourself getting to a point where you're kind of losing it a little bit, as a mother, sometimes you get overwhelmed. Even if you aren't a mother, if you have a busy lifestyle, a busy career, when you feel yourself kind of losing your way, it always comes back to the breath, and bring awareness to how you're breathing. And that simple step will allow you to navigate through the craziness. And that's what Io was sharing with us. Breathing properly is the foundation. All the other aspects of health and wellness are necessary, but if you are not utilizing your breath properly, you're missing out on so much more. So that was, one powerful thing that I got from the show. Another powerful thing, and Queen Afua also mentioned this in episode 1, when she talked about how the addiction is located in the cells of our body. And Io, she shared with us in her journey that she had some serious addictions over her life. And, you know, it got to a point where she was just like on her hands and knees, you know, trying to get some cocaine oil out of the carpet that had pet hair. It was just a very like graphic journey that she took us on, and how she looked up in the mirror and she was just asking the creator to help her to get this addiction out of her system, the taste out of her mouth, as she put it. And she said that she went on this journey of cleansing her cells, that you have to address things at a cellular level, and how the breath and other things also, but the breath can help you to clear the cells, because the addiction is lodged in the cells. And if you don't address things at a cellular level, they will keep resurfacing, and you will think you're fine, but things will trigger it to come back. So that, you know, was always, I thought that was powerful that she shared that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, she talked about physical addictions that are trapped on a cellular level, but then she also spoke about just emotional trauma that's trapped in the subconscious mind, as well as the conscious mind sometimes. And you have to clear out both sides in order to truly heal. And you can use your breath to do that. I remember when I first started trying to get into meditation, I thought that it was impossible to do because my mind was always racing. Like, it used to be so difficult for me to sleep at night. I suffered from insomnia. I would wake up at different hours of the night, and when I laid in bed for so long, I would just toss and turn until I finally could settle down and doze off to sleep. But I kid you not, my mind, when I just closed my eyes and tried to be still, it literally sounded like I was in the middle of Times Square. Like, it was, I could hear the cars, I could hear the beeping, I could hear the chatter, you know, and it was just crazy inside of my mind. And I would sit down and try to meditate, and it was just so noisy. It was almost, it seemed noisier inside of my head than it was outside around me at that particular time. Like, that's how crazy it was in there. And I used to always go through this mental challenge of trying to will my mind clear, trying to think my mind clear. And that doesn't make any sense. I was trying to think meditation. And I realized that the key to meditation is the control over your breath.
Right.
The key to controlling and mastering your emotions is the control of your breath.
Right.
So when I began to breathe the correct way, breathing through the belly, breathing with correct posture, my mind actually began to clear instantly when I started to breathe the correct way. And it allowed me to have a better emotional centeredness and control, and was able to actually control my mind and my thoughts. And it had an effect on my sleep and my meditation instantly when I was able to do that. Because a lot of times we try to think ourselves through situations when we need to be breathing ourselves through these situations. So we have to really take the time to learn how to breathe properly, because in our society, we sit a lot. We're in front of computers. Poor posture. You look at the average person and their posture is very poor. They hunch over. You know, they have the kind of rounded shoulders forward. It puts your spine out of alignment. And what happens is it causes what we call shallow breathing. So we breathe from the chest and not through the belly. The belly doesn't rise and fall. The chest expands in that shallow breathing. So we instantly are not taking in as much oxygen, and we're instantly losing a level of control over our breath. So it makes it very difficult to deal with stressors in our lives and to stay centered through the different emotions that we go through. So it's very important that we reprogram ourselves to breathe the correct way. If you look at a baby, when the baby is laying on his back and you watch a baby sleep and you study a baby and their sleep patterns, you'll see the belly rising and falling the way that it's naturally supposed to be. Babies automatically are in tune with their natural selves and how they're supposed to breathe and how they're supposed to be. But as they get older and there's no emphasis on breathing, there's no emphasis on posture, and they're allowed to just slouch and give no respect to that part of themselves, the breathing patterns begin to change. So it's important that we go back to that essence and sit up straight. It's actually uncomfortable to sit up straight now for a lot of people, but sit up straight and begin to breathe the right way. Very important and very powerful show. I'm glad that we got a chance to do it. And I also want to talk about when she spoke about the things that she was going through just on an energetic level, vibration, and how we attract things in our lives based on the frequency that we're vibrating at. You know, like she was attracting people into her life based on her current frequency.
Right.
So she got out of one relationship with her ex-husband, and even the new husband that she attracted had the same exact issues as the last husband. You know, the people that were around her, the same exact issues, because it's a, you know, energy is a frequency of things that we attract, right? So we will continue to attract people in our lives based on the vibrations that we're on. And that's why we always want to continue to increase our frequency. So she was able to move on, change her energy, change her vibration, and attract a new type of man into her life. Right? How many times do you hear about women that are in abusive relationships and they leave those relationships, meet new people, right? And they're abusive as well. And on the outside, you didn't even know. You get to know them a little bit deeper and they're abusive. How does that happen? It's energy. It's vibration. We attract these things. So a lot of times when our life isn't going the way that we want it to go, we're not meeting the people that we want to meet. We're not just in the types of situations that we want to be in, and we always find ourselves back in these same negative or depressing situations. We have to look at what type of life are we attracting,
right?
You know, and we got to get up out of that. So on many different levels, this show, you know, as she went on her journey, we explored all of those different concepts. So I was really happy about that show.
Yeah, no, it was powerful. I mean, there was so many jewels that was dropped, and it just goes back to doing that self-work and having more an awareness of and consciousness of your body, your emotions. And we spoke about, again, the connection between emotions and disease. And I think that sometimes a lot of people feel that when you start to get into meditation and living more conscious and living a certain way, that you still don't experience emotions like anger or sadness. And those things were created so you can express them and get them out. But the whole thing is you need to release them. And it all goes back to the power of the breath, because if you hold on to negative emotions, they will eventually turn into disease somewhere down the road.
Yes.
And all diseases start at an emotional level. And that's why the power of the breath is so important, to help you to work through those emotions. As Ayo says, you got to get to it to get through it. You have to get to those emotions. You have to, acknowledge them, but you have to release them. And that is the foundation of living a holistic lifestyle and living a full and abundant and happy life. And one other thing I wanted to mention, we talked about Black Love Day.
Yeah.
She is the founder and creator of that holiday. And we spoke deeply about why it was created, how it was created, and why she felt that Ayo felt that it was like the remedy to heal humanity, because it does deal with the Black community. But she also felt that if you weren't Black, you could still benefit from celebrating Black Love Day. And, love is a high vibrational emotion, as a high frequency. We always hear the term love heals all, because when you truly love someone or you love yourself, it shows in your actions. It shows in how you carry yourself and how you interact with people. It's just a powerful emotion. And, how did you feel about Black Love Day when we spoke about it?
I mean, I thought that it was brilliant. I think Black Love Day is brilliant. I mean, I've been celebrating it for 20 years. I never knew that Ayo was the founder of it. So it was a pleasure to be able to actually speak to the founder of it. But I think it's brilliant. I mean, it's during, African American History Month, and it's our celebration. It's our legacy. And to express love toward each other, I think is powerful. I think that it's powerful that it's the day before Valentine's Day, So while we're in that spirit of love, why not celebrate love for our people, know? And it's different. It's not a Black Valentine's Day,
right? It's not like an empty holiday.
And there's a lot of people, in the African American community that actually don't celebrate Valentine's Day because, as we begin to understand our history and our legacy better and the things that are connected to certain energies, and, people kind of look a little bit deeper with Valentine's Day and just the historical perspective of it, not what it represents right now, but the historical perspective of it. People really don't care for that and they don't want to associate with it. So a lot of Black people actually don't celebrate Valentine's Day, and there are some that do. They just take it for the love. But even with that, it's more about will you be my Valentine, and it's just like about the couples. But Black Love Day is different. It's about the love for your child, the love for your parents, the love for your spouse, the love for your friends, just the love for your people. It's just about love in general, which is powerful about it. It's not just about the couples, even though you can, express couples love. You definitely can, but it doesn't stop there. It goes so much deeper and so much further than that. And then she just broke down kind of the pillars of it, so this is a deep holiday that I'm sure a lot of people for the first time are experiencing that. And, next week, we're in right now. I don't know when you're going to listen to this podcast, but right now we are in the first week of February. So next week is Black Love Day. Right. So it'll give people an opportunity to actually begin to practice this who haven't already. For the first time, they can actually celebrate and practice Black Love Day. So, yeah, man, I appreciate the work, and I think that it's amazing.
Definitely. So I guess that's good for now, right? I didn't have anything else to add. So before we go, if you did not have a chance to listen to that powerful interview with Ayo, just go to jkhealthtribe.com/25 and you can get access to that interview with Ayo, and also the show notes page that lists her contact information, all the work that she's doing, information on Black Love Day, and so much more. Okay, so until next time, live healthier.
Yeah, stay healthy. Peace and blessings.
We hope you enjoyed your time with Jamal and Kim's Inner Circle Health Tribe. To keep you on your path towards a happy, healthier lifestyle, we encourage you to visit jkhealthtribe.com for a free copy of the 8 effective ways to lose weight and keep it off, as well as more content to help you find your health balance. Thanks again, and we look forward to educating, empowering, and inspiring you to live healthier.